Hello, everyone. This is the Exploring IBM SmartCloud webinar hosted by the RockTeam. So let's get started. My name is Doug Morrison. I'm the Executive Director of the RockTeam. I'm going to be the moderator today. We are going to hold questions until the end of the presentation, so please post your questions in the chat window on the right-hand side, and we'll take care of all questions at the end. We're also going to be posting this presentation file after the webinar for everyone to have access. A little bit about the RockTeam. We are an IBM Premier Business Partner. We sell hardware and software, and we also offer consulting and technical services. Our core expertise is really focused on the IBM collaboration portfolio, social, system design, application development, and systems integration. Our presenter for today is Rob Kirkland. Rob has been in the ICS world for several years. He's extremely experienced in this technology, and he's done a lot of work in helping organizations move to IBM SmartCloud. He's a certified IBM instructor, as well as an author of numerous books around Notes and Domino.
Thanks, Doug. Hi, everyone. This is Rob. Let's get right into this agenda today. We're going to find out what IBM SmartCloud is. We're going to find out what the features and the benefits of it are, and we're going to see how you, our customers, would migrate to SmartCloud services and how RockTeam could facilitate that for you. Before we talk about SmartCloud per se, let's talk about your situation as we at RockTeam see it. Okay, I work with people in the IT department a lot of our customers, and what I see is that you guys have ever-increasing responsibilities, yet tighter budgets. Your management expects you to do more and more work with fewer and fewer resources, and you guys tend to need a helping hand. Meanwhile, your users, which also includes management, are making increasing demands on IT. They want and need better software and hardware tools in order to do their jobs effectively. They're more mobile than ever before. They're working from home, they're working on the road, and they need better tools to work from those different situations, and in particular, they have a brand new iPhone 5S in their pocket that has all of this great capability, and they want to be able to use it to get to their company email and maybe a nice new tablet as well. And finally, your users are totally into social software. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, that sort of thing. And there's a good reason for that, and it's because those softwares are very powerful ways to communicate with other people. Talking about SmartCloud, it's really today the solution that we're going to propose to those problems that we just described. What is it exactly? It's actually lots of different IBM services, and mostly they are beyond the scope of today's discussion. We have infrastructure as a service, we have platform as a service, we have software as a service. IBM will help you set up private clouds, public clouds, hybrid clouds, which are a combination of public and private, but there's the aspect of it that we are going to talk about today is what IBM calls IBM SmartCloud for Social Business, which is software as a service. What is that exactly? It is a portfolio of online services hosted by IBM. And of course, what that means is that it's very scalable. You can add lots and lots of users, and it'll just scale up for you. It's security rich. If IBM cares about anything more than anything else, it's security, right? The security of your data. And it's dependable, okay? Your data out in IBM SmartCloud is sitting on multiple servers, okay? If one of them goes down, your data is still available to you. IBM's goal for creating SmartCloud for social business is really to allow your users, to enable your users to work more effectively and to work more collaboratively, okay? People do business with people, okay? And so IBM SmartCloud for social business is intended to make it easier for people to communicate and collaborate with each other. And of course, our other goal is to give your admin team some relief, okay? Excuse me. SmartCloud for social business includes basically 4 services: mail, mobile, meetings, and social, and we're going to look at each one in turn here. Mail is IBM Notes Mail. In essence, it's mail, calendar, to-do, contacts, that's your personal contacts from Lotus Notes if you're a Lotus Notes user, and your notebook also from Lotus Notes. And finally, it's same-time instant messaging. You may recall, if you are a Lotus Notes user, that your Domino license has included a license for same-time instant messaging for years now. And all you have to do is set up a same-time server, and you have instant messaging alongside your email, okay? With SmartCloud Mail, you have a choice of clients. You can use the IBM Notes client. Nowadays it's called IBM Notes Social Edition, and you can use a web browser, what we all know as iNotes. You can use mobile devices, iOS devices, that's Apple devices, Android, Windows, Nokia, and finally, you will be able to use Mail Next real soon now. IBM Mail Next is some really powerful new changes that are coming to Notes Mail. It should be out in beta, I think, next quarter, and supposed to be released the 4th quarter, and we're all really excited about it around here. And it will be, and when it arrives, it will arrive in SmartCloud Mail first, okay? There's also mobile, okay? Mobile is IBM Notes Traveler, and of course Traveler provides you your mail, your calendar, your to-do, and your contacts on your mobile devices, your Apple, your Android, your Windows Phone devices, and so on. And also, if you are still using BlackBerry in your company, that's optionally included as well. And finally, mobile is a series of free mobile applications that you can download from the App Store for instant messaging, meetings, and IBM Connections. The third of those 4 services in the portfolio is meetings, and that, of course, is same-time meetings and same-time instant messaging hosted in the cloud. You may already have mail taken care of, but you would like to take advantage of meetings, and a great, quick way, easy way to do it is to do it in IBM, is to let IBM host the servers for you, and you just take advantage of the services. Audio is an available add-on. That would be both voice over IP and dial-in, and we're looking forward to video as a future add-on. And the last of the 4 services is social, and specifically that is IBM Connections hosted in the cloud. IBM Connections is IBM's category-leading social software. It's been in the IBM Magic Quadrant now for 5 years running, and we're going to talk a lot more about it in just a little bit here. But before we get into that detail, let's talk about how you can take advantage of these services. And basically, there's two ways. You can subscribe to any of the individual products, or you can bundles. Okay, and bundles are where the action is because you can get great discounts, great price breaks by buying several of the services instead of just one, or instead of buying one or two of them individually. In addition to the bundles and the individual products, there are a series of add-ons that you can subscribe to optionally. Here's another slide that describes the services and the bundles individually. If you look at the services, you see that that SmartCloud Mail is either Notes or iNotes. If it's Notes, that means you are buying a subscription to the Lotus Notes client. If it's iNotes, you are buying a subscription for web-based mail. Looking at the bundles on the left, there are two. There's the standard bundle and the advanced bundle. Looking at the details of the standard bundle, we see that it's if you buy that, you are actually buying IBM Connections, also IBM Meetings, some other stuff, web forms, web chat, that would be instant messaging, and mobile instant messaging, and then in essence everything except mail. If you look down at the advanced bundle, you see that includes everything and mail, okay, and that's Notes Mail with the Notes client license if you want it, and it also includes Traveler, and it also includes IBM SmartCloud Docs. Okay, so let's move on to the benefits of SmartCloud. We basically have two different situations here. One is you are using mail or one of these services on premises, and you would love to free up your administrator's time to do something else. You'd love to free up the hardware resources, and you'd love to increase the reliability, scalability, and security of your mail. Let's just move your Notes Mail over to the cloud. That is to say, let's move everyone's mail databases onto mail servers administered by IBM in the cloud. Everyone will continue to use their Lotus Notes client if they want, just as they are now, and in addition, they'll have a new URL that they can go to in order to access their mail in a browser. And the other situation is that you'd love to implement new services, okay? You'd love to get SmartCloud Meetings or SmartCloud Connections set up, but it's a pretty big project. You just don't have the resources, the time to take on that project right now. So you keep putting it off, but wait, let's just implement it in the cloud, okay? You can transform the way your organization works with a relatively small investment of time and effort, okay? We have an example here, moving Notes Mail to the cloud. This is our customers' number one motive for moving to the cloud. I've moved personally a number of our customers to the cloud, and like I said, most of them, their goal was to offload the responsibility for administering their mail servers, okay? IBM becomes your server administrator. IBM performs all future maintenance on those servers and upgrades to those servers. And now your administrators suddenly have more free time. They don't have to maintain that expertise anymore. They can become experts in some of the other products and services that management keeps asking for. And you got all of those Domino mail servers on premises. You can now decommission them. Your users now have mail available to them everywhere and all the time. A lot of our customers would require their mail users to VPN into the corporate network in order to gain access to the servers. That's no longer the case when the mail servers are in the cloud. Also, your mail servers in the cloud are clustered for failover and load balancing, and and finally, there's managed mail replication is automatically in place when you use cloud-based mail. And what that basically means is that for the Notes users, they have a local copy of their mail database, and they don't have to even think about the fact that open their mail database, and Notes will either open the local copy if it's available, or open the copy on the server, and will make sure that that replication takes place properly and all that sort of thing, and your users don't even have to think about it. One last bullet here. If you want, when you're moving Notes over to the cloud, if you decide you'd like to not only retire your Domino servers but also retire your Notes clients, you can do that. The web-based version of Notes Mail and Calendar is iNotes, and it works really well. And if you want to move to web only, this would be a good time to do it. Okay. Another example, you'd like to implement a new service, IBM Traveler. Your users want their mail on their mobile devices. And by your users, I mean your CEO, right? Your CEO wants it. You better get it for him, okay? Now, it's relatively simple to do. All you have to do is set up a Notes Traveler server, okay? And it's done. Problem is now you want to make that available to all of your other users, and you got some potential problems with having just one Traveler server. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Here is an illustration of the simplest sort of Domino mail installation. You have a single Domino server, and you have your Notes clients at their workstations. And of course, that Domino server is a single point of failure. Every now and then you have to take it down for maintenance, and when it comes down, no one has access to their mail. And there's a simple solution to that. Let's cluster that server. Let's set up a second one, put them in a cluster. Now you can take one of them down for maintenance, and everyone will fail over to the second one, okay? And now your CEO says, I want my mail on my mobile device, and you say, no problem, let's put up a Traveler server, and boom, there it is. And now we again have a single point of failure. Every now and then you have to take that Traveler server down, and people lose their access to mail on their mobile devices, and they're not happy about it. And the CEO says, well, or maybe it's the CIO says, gosh, can't we cluster the Traveler servers too? And the answer is yes, except it's a little bit more complex here, because Traveler uses an embedded relational database. When you set up multiple Traveler servers in a service pool, you have to pull the relational database off onto a database server. You also have to set up an IP sprayer. So, gosh, look what we've done. We had a single we had one single point of failure. We have managed to create two of them. I guess we better cluster the relational database servers so that if one of them goes down, the Traveler servers still have access to the database on the other one, and we better set up a backup IP sprayer. Gosh, this is fun. We started out with one server. Now we have 8 servers. And wait a minute, we have another problem. If you are a global organization, you got your headquarters in the United States, you have manufacturing in maybe China and Europe and sales offices all over the world. You have people, if you have people all over the world hitting that one Traveler service pool in North America, the people in Asia and Europe are going to be getting pretty slow service. They would be a lot happier if you duplicated that service pool closer to them. So now we have where we had 24. And, oh, by the way, let's talk about disaster recovery. You really ought to have it. You really need to duplicate everything in separate data centers. And now we're really talking big time. Maybe we should take a look at IBM SmartCloud instead, because guess what? IBM has all of that infrastructure in place, and all you have to do is subscribe, and you now have it all set up and maintained for you by IBM. Okay? Next example, same time instant messaging. RockTeam has a lot of small customers, okay? Say less than 100 users or even 100 users who, even though they have same time instant messaging licenses and have had them for years now, they never set up instant messaging because they have a one-person IT department, a single administrator who's just stretched too thin, and they couldn't justify the expense of setting up a same-time community server and learning how to administer it and maintain it, and so they just never got around to doing it. If you move your notes into the cloud, then you don't have to worry about that anymore. Gaining access to instant messaging is a simple matter of setting a radio button, and then magically what happens is your notes users suddenly over in the right sidebar have instant messaging. They're automatically logged into it. Same with your iNotes users. Over in the right sidebar, they have instant messaging. And guess what else? Your CEO can download the same time application from the App Store, and now he has same time on his mobile phone as well. Okay? Same time meetings is yet another example, except it's really a bigger problem. It's setting it up on premises is a much bigger problem than setting up just instant messaging, because not only do you have at least one community server, which is a Domino-based server, but you have to set up multiple WebSphere servers as well. And you have to, if you already have same time in place, and it's been in place for years, and you're using Domino directory services, you have to convert to LDAP directory services. It's kind of a big deal to implement same-time meetings. As an alternative to doing all of that yourself, just let IBM do it. You pay for the subscription. IBM does all of the backroom work for you. And by the way, if you're using GoToMeeting or WebEx for your meetings right now, you really owe it to yourself to take a look at the SmartCloud Engage bundles that include SmartCloud meetings, because you can actually save money on by switching over to SmartCloud meetings from GoToMeetings and WebEx. And there are some really nice features in there that, in my personal opinion, make SmartCloud meetings better than those other products. Okay. Final example here, IBM Connections. And by the way, I consider this to be the best reason of all to move into the cloud, okay, into IBM SmartCloud. IBM Connections is powerful, revolutionary software that can transform the way your organization does business. But we have the same problem here that we had with meetings. Implementing it on premises is a pretty big undertaking. There are a lot of WebSphere servers that you have to set up. And if you want failover, load balancing, that kind of thing, you're looking at a whole new set of expertise that you have to master in order to set up and maintain IBM Connections on premises. Not that you shouldn't do it. If you're a large organization, it might make a lot of sense to do it on premises. But IBM does offer it in the cloud, and it's a turnkey situation. In fact, implementing Connections in the cloud is potentially too easy, okay? It's so easy that you'll be tempted to just set it and forget it, and that would, and there's a potential problem there, because to gain real benefit from it, you have to sell Connections to your users. You have to train your users in the best use of Connections. Basically, the whole company has to drink the Kool-Aid in order to really benefit from IBM Connections. So gosh, what is it anyway? It's a toolbox full of tools that IBM has developed with the intention of finding better solutions to problems, applying better solutions to specific problems that both large and small organizations have been wrestling with for years, okay? And among other things, these tools leverage the revolution in social computing, okay? You know, it's not for no reason that Facebook and Twitter are so popular, are the focus of many people's time when they are sitting at their computers at home. You know, we used to, I don't know, browse the web. Now we seem to browse Facebook and Twitter an awful lot. There's good reasons for that. They are really powerful tools for increasing collaboration with people and for accelerating the movement of information across the web from person to person. And IBM Connections have leveraged this as well, so that you can do this kind of thing within your own organization, okay? So Connections is potentially transformative. It will transform the way you work internally in your organization, and it can also transform your relationships with your customers, your business partners, and so on. Doug, what's social business patterns all about?
Thanks, Rob. So, yeah, the social business patterns, essentially, this is a set of repeatable methodologies that IBM's put together in order to improve business processes. They do this by embedding these social capabilities and concepts that Rob was just talking about into your organization. And obviously don't have the time to go through these today. We'd love to talk to you more individually about this, and follow up with you after this call if you have questions about that.
Okay, good. So these are like, I know you didn't want to use the word templates, but these are you can plug a set of predefined behaviors into the way you use connections to improve your bottom line, basically. I think that's pretty exciting stuff to me. And like Doug said, this is something we'd love to share with you even more in maybe a future webinar or in one-on-one discussions. Let's talk about some of the individual tools in the Connections tool set. The first one I'd like to talk about is the activity stream. It's like when you subscribe to Connections, it is your home page, okay? And it's kind of like a Twitter stream. In fact, it's very much like a Twitter stream. What you do is you post status updates and you also share files, and people can follow you, okay? And when you post a status update or a file or something like that, your followers are automatically notified that you posted this thing, and they can see what it is that you've posted. And if it's something that they think is valuable and should be shares, they can repost it, and then their followers will see it, and they in turn might repost it, and so your information is effectively viral, okay? The old-fashioned alternative to this is you could post information in an email and send it out to a whole bunch of people, right? But in fact, the activity stream is a much, much faster way of getting information out to the world. By the way, you can also do @mentions. You can @mention a given user who may not be your follower. That user would then also be notified, and the notice arrives in their email. They click a link, and they are taken to the activity stream where they can see what you've said, and then they can reply to it, okay? It's very powerful stuff. If you take us to the next slide, there's a screenshot of it. You can see the right up at the top there where you would enter your status, and down below you can see that there's the activity stream that appears there. Over on the left, I see that I have a couple of notices. People have @mentioned me, or people I'm following have posted something. You see also action required. Someone might have posted something requesting something of me. So very powerful stuff here. Okay. Talking further about leveraging social, we have another one of the tools available to us in Connections is something called communities, okay? A community is, just what it sounds like. You create a community and you invite people into it, and then the people inside that community can collaborate with each other in a number of ways. You can post documents in the community that are relevant to the community members. You can hold discussions in forums. You can do lots and lots of things. And looking at the second bullet here, okay, you can invite unlimited number of guests into a community, okay? What is interesting about that is that the guests don't have to be members of your company. They don't have to be licensed Connections users, okay? If you want to collaborate with a customer or with a business partner, you can set up a community and invite individual people from your customer or business partner into that community. They have all of the access that you have in the community to the files in the community and to any other tools that you add to that community, and you don't have to pay a license fee for that, okay? We have at least 2 customers who have licensed IBM Connections in SmartCloud because of this feature alone, okay? We have a customer who provides services to um, to dog shows, okay? Dog shows go on all over the world, right? Every weekend there are dog shows going on somewhere. And this small company provides services to the dog shows. They provide judges and things like that. I don't know what all they provide, but lots of different services. And what they have done with SmartCloud Connections is they set up a community for each one of the dog shows that they provide services for, and they invite the dog show people into those communities, and now they can share documents. They can set up to-do lists and things like that in order to, make sure that the services that they're promising to their customers get provided properly. Make sure that if their customers are having any problems, they can hear about it immediately and respond to it quickly. Very powerful stuff, okay? My other customer that has implemented this for this, because of this ability, is a small nonprofit with 20 employees, and get this, 44 trustees on their board of trustees, okay? Their 20 employees use Notes Mail in the cloud, they have Notes Meetings in the cloud, and they have Connections in the cloud. The trustees, they don't need all of that stuff, but the trustees do need services, and in fact, there are a set of people in this organization who spend much of their time just organizing meetings of the Board of Trustees and meetings of the subcommittees that the board has created. In fact, I'm told they have about 20 meetings per year, okay? And so what these guys have is a community just for the Board of Trustees, and within that community they have sub-communities for the various subcommittees on the Board of Trustees. And now when they used to have to send out a packet of documents, print it up for all 44 members, send it out to all 44 members. Now they can post it in the community. The members can log on, read it online, and be well prepared for the meetings when they arrive. And oh, by the way, with same-time meetings, if a given board member can't make it to the meeting physically, they could still attend the meeting virtually through the IBM same-time meetings, okay? And oh, by the way, what about arranging for the catering, arranging for transportation, perhaps hotel for some of the board members? The people doing that can use a feature that is available within communities called Activities. And Activities is a powerful, it's like a to-do list on steroids, or maybe you could call it a lightweight project manager. But basically what you can do is set up within an activity, you can define all of the things that need to be done, right? And you can also provide links to the resources that help the people who have to get these things done, that will help them to know how to get the job done. And it's all very powerful. So you get this process set up in Activities, and now the person who's been doing it for 10 years and had it all in her head and now retires, you bring in a new person. How do they get up to speed? Activities basically tells them exactly what they have to do, what the person who retired used to do, and provides all of the resources that they need to actually get that job done, okay? Moving on, here's another tool, the Files tool. Regain control over your files. With email, what do? You attach files to emails, right? And then you send that attached file out to 10, 20, 100 people, whatever. And people read it and they make changes, they send it back and forth. Before you know it, you got so many different versions of the file, and you don't know where they all are. you've lost control over the files. The files feature of IBM Connections enables you to regain control of files. Instead of attaching them to emails, you now post them into the file repository. You send people a link to them. People can receive the email. They click the link. They are now looking at a description of the file. They can decide whether they want to read it online. They can decide whether they want to download a copy of it. They can even decide whether, if they have editor access to it, it's your choice whether to make them readers or editors. If they have editor access, they can actually open the online version of it, make changes to it, post the changes back up to the file repository, and now a new version of the file has been created. Okay, it's a draft version. Someone has to publish it in order to make it available to everyone else. Okay, very powerful stuff. By the way, files is one of two features of Connections that have been included in your Domino license ever since version, I think 8.5.2 or 8.5.3 came out. So if you are using version 8.5.3, you may already have files and profiles, the next one we're going to talk about, licenses to them. Whether you've actually set them up on premises, I don't know. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same story we talked about earlier. Setting up servers for files and profiles is, you know, kind of a big deal, and a lot of people, even a lot of our customers, even though they are licensed to do this, have never quite found the time, found the budget to do it. Okay, so but now these you don't have to set up those features. You just subscribe to Connections in the cloud, and they're there for you. The one called Profiles, which you see on your screen right now, is really of most benefit to larger corporations. Okay, if you're in a corporation that's large enough, or organization that's large enough that you don't know everyone else, and you know, a lot of them may be working in other offices in other parts of the world, there's just no way you could know everyone in the organization. That's, you know, the silo problem of large organizations. This is a tool that is really intended to break through the walls of the silo and help you to find people in your organization who can help you out. Okay, if you have a problem that you are scratching your head trying to solve, there's a good chance that someone else in your organization has already solved that problem or has the knowledge and the expertise to help you to get that problem solved. Where is that person? Profiles will help you find that person. Okay, Profiles in a nutshell is like everyone's resume in the cloud, and you do a keyword search for the kind of expertise you need, and what it'll bring back to you is a list of people prioritized that will tell you exactly who has experience or expertise in the area that you're looking for. Okay, there's lots more tools in IBM Connections. I mentioned activities, very powerful tool. Among other things, it's really great for organizing training. There's also web events. You guys are actually attending this event today through web events, okay? And then there's third-party apps. You can license applications from third parties that have been designed to work with Connections. By the way, there's an absolutely killer project management app. It's collaborative project management, multiple people working a project at the same time. It can import and export. Actually, I think it can read native Microsoft project files. It's very, very powerful stuff. We're really excited about it at RockTeam. Okay. The last item here, mobile first. IBM has made a big deal out of making sure that your mobile users have access to all of the features of as your desk-bound users do. And so just to let you know that your mobile users will benefit from this just as soon as all of your other users will, okay? Okay, so we're talking about why SmartCloud is great, why we want to use it. A couple other reasons here. Extensibility. Do you have a customized mail template that your company uses? You can submit that template to IBM. They have to approve it, check it out, make sure that it doesn't have any problems that might cause them problems. And if they approve it, then they'll allow you to use your custom templates for your in-cloud mail users. Okay? Upgrades. IBM does all your upgrades for you. And by the way, they upgrade cloud users first, right? Any new features that are introduced in new versions of connections or notes will show up in IBM Cloud as soon as they show up anywhere. And by the way, I mentioned Mail Next, fourth quarter of this year. Also, Outlook 2013 Active Sync. What's that about? If you have die-hard Outlook users who just grouse all the time about how they wish they had Outlook, they wish they didn't have to use notes, well, coming in 2015, they will be able to use Outlook to read and respond to their notes mail, their notes calendar, their notes to-do, and all the rest of that stuff, okay? You can shut them up once and for all, okay? So, how to move to SmartCloud, okay? First of all, moving your mail to SmartCloud. Your mail is in a bunch of servers on premises. We'd like to move them over to SmartCloud. What virtually all of our customers have done is actually migrated their existing mail from their on-premises mail servers into the in-cloud mail servers, okay? If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You could archive your existing mail and start fresh with new mail. I think maybe we've had one customer do that. Actually, RockTeam did that. RockTeam moved over to SmartCloud before you could migrate your mail. So we didn't have any choice but to archive our existing mail or manually copy everything from our on-premises mail to our in-cloud mail database, which some of us chose to do, some of us chose not. It's way easier, or at least if you want to move your existing mail and calendar entries and all of that stuff over onto the in-cloud mail servers, you can do that now, and that's what most of our customers do. As far as Domino applications are concerned, up until this month, there was no provision for moving non-mail applications into SmartCloud, okay? You had to keep them on your on-premises Domino servers, but starting this month, June 2014, it is going to become possible to move your applications onto cloud-based servers as well. So if you're interested in that, give us a call. We'll tell you all about it, okay? Basically, what you do when you are moving your notes mail over is you set up what's called a hybrid notes domain. You continue to have your on-premises Domino servers, but now in addition you have in-cloud mail servers, and the servers communicate with each other just like they do if they were all on-premises. One last item at the bottom of the screen here. Are you using Exchange? We can move your Exchange mail over to SmartCloud as well, and we'd be happy to do that. Okay? Doug, what's this Bridge to SmartCloud all about?
Yeah, so the Bridge to SmartCloud is an IBM promotion that's been running for almost a year now, and it's specifically geared towards the Notes and Domino renewal customers. So what it does is allows them to trade up their SmartCloud subscriptions. And, we call this a dual entitlement. So you have access to all your on-prem Notes and Domino licensing, and you also have access to SmartCloud. There is no obligation to actually migrate to SmartCloud. You could do it this year. You could wait, do it a few years down the line, or just not do it at all. But you now have the option to migrate, some or all of your users, and you're also locking in this discounted pricing for the life of your contract. So, whatever pricing you can get as part of your Domino renewal for SmartCloud, you can lock that in. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we'd love to talk to you more about that and help you out with that.
Thanks, Doug. When it comes to licensing stuff, I always just ask Doug. He knows the licensing stuff way better than I do. So, okay, so RockTeam can help you with all of this stuff, okay? We will set up your hybrid environment. We will migrate your mail databases. Or if you want to do it yourself, we'll make sure that you don't mess it up, okay? We're certified to do that kind of stuff by IBM. We've done it a lot. We're really good at it. We'll also provide consultation, in particular when it comes to taking the best advantage of SmartCloud connections. You want to do it right, okay? And we are here to make sure that you get the biggest bang for your buck when you adopt these features. We will consult with you to make sure you know what to do and how to get it done. We also can provide written materials, podcasts. We have been a training organization since the beginning of time. We're really great at training, and we'll be happy to provide training for you, okay? Our goal is to make sure that your adoption of SmartCloud is a success, okay? Doug, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, and before I do, just want to thank Rob for the presentation. He did a great job. So what RockTeam can do, as Rob has said throughout the call, we've got a lot of experience and expertise on these products, whether they're on-prem or in the cloud. We can do all the work for you, or we can help your people implement and master these things. Training is our bread and butter. We started as a training organization, so we're very experienced in that. We can, offer you courses. We can do custom courses. We can help get you up to speed on social and cloud. And we'd love to come in and help you with your software as well and give you some value there and try and save you some money. IBM changes their licensing models all the time, so we want to help you guys maximize your investment with that and get you the most bang for your buck. And we are your lifeline into the IBM ecosystem, so we have a lot of contacts in IBM that we can leverage to get answers to your questions or get you in touch with the right people to help solve problems. And just to wrap up a little bit here's some resources, here's some links. This presentation will be available, so you can click on these links. A little bit about SmartCloud, a little bit about social business, a link to the social business patterns that we briefly touched on, give you some more detail on that. We're also setting up a community in SmartCloud, just to leverage all the things that we've been talking about here. So you will each receive a link to join the SmartCloud community. If you're not already a member of SmartCloud, you'll have to create a guest account. So you'll get instructions on how to do that. And we're going to put the links that I just shared, the presentation file will be there, as well as a recording of this webinar, so you can go back and listen to anything that you may have missed at the beginning. Here's how to reach us. Our website, our phone number, our Twitter accounts are here as well. LinkedIn, email. So if you have any questions as a follow-up to this, just reach out to us there. And at this time, we'll take some questions. Some of these may have been answered. And also just another sidebar, we're going to post each of these questions into the community and post the answers there as well, just so you have them documented. And if we need to follow up on some of them, we can do that at a later time. So first question here is around directory services residing in a hybrid. Rob, I think you touched on that a little bit, but essentially the directory is still on-prem on your Domino server, and it replicates out to SmartCloud in a hybrid environment. Rob, anything else you want to expand on there?
Yeah, Irv, how you doing? Nice to hear from you. Haven't talked with you in a while. I can tell you, yeah, the directory services are on your on-premises Domino servers and in servers at IBM, not Domino servers at IBM. They are Tivoli directory servers at IBM. And as far as your other question regarding coexistence with another provider for tokens, we don't know the answer to that question. We're going to have to get back to you on that, and we will. And we'll post the answer in the community for you.
Next one with David Schaefer. Hi, David. How are you? We touched on the custom mail templates, I think, already. So those are they're not supported right out of the gate. You have to get them approved through IBM through a process. But we've done that ourselves, and we've helped customers do that. So that should not be an issue. Another question from Irv is on the optional archiving and email management. It might be worth following up directly with Irv on that one. I'm not sure. He mentioned something that his parent company may have purchased already, so I think.
Yeah, I didn't really. I sort of slid past the add-ons, one of which was the archiving component, and it's only included if you opt in to it and pay the additional subscription fee. I'll tell you what, I'll be happy to get on the phone with you, Irv, and we can talk about this one-on-one. How's that?
And just to reiterate, any information that we find on any of these questions will get posted. And also, if there's any questions you have after the call's over and you want to post, we can certainly answer them as well. Clem Payden from Labware. Hey, Clem. The cloud servers are global. There are servers, I believe.
There are data centers in the United States, I think both on the East and West Coast. There is a data center in Japan. There's a data center somewhere in Europe.
Germany.
Sure. Germany, is
yep.
it? And there are plans for more data centers as well. And when you provision a user, you get to choose whether, if that user is in Europe, you tell the provisioning process to use the data center in Europe for that particular user.
I think, and David Schaefer had another one here. Basically, I think he was just reiterating one of the points we had on the same time 8, being stuck on that server without being able to upgrade it. Got a few questions here from Sean McGuire. For Traveler regarding cloud services, how will IBM manage capacity? Will there be a cap? If so, will a warning be generated to administrators so they can manage expectation? Not sure.
I think we'd have to do some research to find the answer to this question. I don't know of any capacity limit. I don't know what the capacity limits are.
We haven't run into that one, so I don't know if there is one at all. But So in regards to offloading mail to the cloud, is there a workflow available to determine how day-to-day requests will be managed?
I think the question here is the migration of mail from from on-premises servers to in-cloud servers. There's definitely a workflow. It involves setting up a staging server, setting up some applications, and then stepping through a series of steps to get the mail moved from the mail server, from the on-premises mail server over to the staging server, from there to IBM's FTP server, and then from there onto their mail servers.
And that's for an actual mail migration. I think maybe what Sean is asking here is how will day-to-day support requests or new user requests be managed. And basically, if you have a hybrid environment, you are still registering your servers in Domino, and then
your users in Domino, right?
Yeah, your users in Domino. And then you go out to SmartCloud once you've registered in Domino and provision them with SmartCloud services.
Right. You are still the user administrator. IBM is the server administrator. If you have issues, IBM does provide end user support as well as administrator support through email. I hope we're answering your question here.
Yeah, and we'll like I said, we'll follow up with you, Sean. A couple more here. Spam filtering is included as part of this, and I think there was another question for that later on. Just trying to move quickly here. SLAs are in place for site servers. There are some SLA models that IBM offers for larger organizations to protect against outages. Load balancing, I think load balancing is already in place with the IBM cloud servers. Each mail file resides on multiple Domino servers, and you can fail over if the load balancing warrants that. And site migrations handle for newer clients, is this available push from IBM? So yeah, I think we talked a little bit about that already, but we'll follow up with you on these, Sean, just to make sure we're answering these correctly. And next one here is about backup of mail files in SmartCloud.
Well, the backup is handled by IBM. So
yeah, I think you contact IBM support for restores of those. Mail file limits, another one from Irv, is 25 gigs per mail file for SmartCloud Notes, the full subscription. I do think that there are overage costs. I don't have them offhand here, but we'll post some more information on those.
And you can purchase additional capacity ahead of time as well.
Yeah, you can purchase additional storage on a per user basis or for your whole organization. I think there's different ways to approach that. We answered the one about the presentation.
Yes, it
will be available. No restrictions for European users. I think we talked about that one already. Question was, are there any restrictions if we have users who reside in Europe? There's a brand new data center in Germany to handle that. In-place editing, there is in-place editing. This is from David Schaefer. Is there any in-place editing, like quicker places in files? So the IBM Docs allows you to either view, download the file, or actually edit the file depending on what type of file it is. Most of your word processing, Office documents, spreadsheets, presentations are available for browser editing.
I'll give you a quick example on that. We had to make some edits to this presentation, which was stored in files. I opened the file repository version directly in PowerPoint, made the edits, and when I saved and closed it, it saved it and closed it right back up into the file repository as a new version.
That's a good point, Rob. There are several plugins available for these tools you can use with your Windows Explorer, you can use with Office, you can use with Outlook, you can use with your Notes client. So there's a lot of functionality that integrates with your desktop.
Right. And then the other thing is, we could have done this presentation in IBM SmartCloud Docs, and we could actually have edited it collaboratively, so you can have multiple editors working on an individual file simultaneously, and they can actually see what each other editor is doing in real time. It's pretty powerful stuff.
All right, so Outlook users, this is not public yet, but they would still be iNotes web-based users. The question is from Irv Shore, will the Outlook users see OWA or iNotes if they want to use web? So these are Notes-based users that have Outlook access but not Outlook web access. We talked about the spam virus malware management that is part of IBM's solution. They can scan every message that comes in.
That actually, the incoming mail, well, it actually depends on how you set up your hybrid environment. You can continue, if you have a brand new appliance that handles all of this stuff and you haven't finished amortizing the cost of it yet, you can have your mail continue to come in through your own SMTP servers and go out through your own SMTP servers, and you can funnel it all through your own anti-spam antivirus appliance, or you can switch over to IBM's SMTP servers, and IBM's anti-spam, antivirus, anti-malware services will then filter everything for you. Take your choice.
All right, so another question from Irv is on e-discovery requests. I believe this is going to be part of the Archive Essentials.
Yeah, that would be included in Archive Essentials. You'd have to subscribe to that as an add-on.
And we'll post some more information on that Archive Essentials piece of this. How about mail moves from data center to data center? I don't think we've actually had to do one of those. I guess in that situation, if you had an Asia-Pac user who was provisioned on the Japanese mail data center, you'd want to move them to a United States data center. If they moved to America, I think
I would call IBM support, tell them what I want to do, and I'm sure that they would do it for us.
Yeah, that would
be real surprised if they said they couldn't do that.
Yeah. So I think we'll do a little more research to see if we find any info on that one as well, but I believe IBM support would handle that. In the hybrid, are we basically replicating our Domino administration server's Domino directory to the SmartCloud? Yes. That is handled through a pass-through server, the pass-through server.
Right.
Robbie?
Yeah, the answer is basically yes. Although they don't actually have a copy of your Domino directory in the cloud, the information, I believe they have it stored in a Tivoli directory server. And I don't know that they actually have all of the information about your servers. I'm not sure that they care about any of that stuff. They do know, however, which of your servers their servers need to communicate with. But generally speaking, your Domino, the people and the groups and the mail-in databases, I think all of that is definitely up in their directory. All of the server-based stuff, connection documents, all of that kind of stuff, I think basically not. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
A couple more here, and then we'll wrap up. Can you set a timeout for the browser so it stays open all day?
The answer is we don't know. at least I don't.
I don't know the answer to that one either.
We'll have to research that one.
How does IBM protect data from unauthorized access?
Going back to stays open all day, your login will time out after a while, and I don't think there's, what I've done is, told my browser to memorize my login information, and then if I am timed out, I just tell it to log in again, and it doesn't make me re-enter my credentials. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you mean by stays open all day.
So we'll follow up. That was from Brooke Williams. We'll follow up with Brooke on that one. How does IBM protect the data from unauthorized access for regulated companies? I think, from my understanding, there are some third-party compliance tools that are in place for this type of thing. Actiance has a product I know works with the on-prem. I think they have a cloud solution as well now. So we'll get you some more information on that one, Bill. And last one here, are mail files deleted immediately from SmartCloud for terminated employees?
The answer is no. You can terminate the employee, but I believe
so there's an option for suspending users. So you can suspend a user and basically lock the account, kind of like a deny access, and keep the data intact until it gives you a little bit of a buffer so you don't accidentally delete users, but also gives you access to that data. Typically what I've done is get a replica of that data and put it on site or on a DVD somewhere for access, and then delete from cloud. So last point here, we will have a questionnaire sent out to you guys, and we just encourage you to fill that out, and we're going to try and be proactive in this community after we end the webinar to continue answering questions and working with you guys on some of this stuff. And once again, thanks everyone for attending.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.